Good morning. This is the 5th of September, Board of Commissioners, Richland County. All three commissioners here, Banks, Mears, and Bureau. Our clerk, Stacy Paul, our assistant clerk, Evan Oman, and county administrator, Andrew Keller. And on the line, we have Carl Hunnell from Richland Source. Gentlemen, we're going to start with other. Can we certify the record of proceedings for September the 3rd?
So moved.
I have to abstain.
Second.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears,
Abstain.
We approve the requisitions.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears,
Okay. County IT has asked us to approve a master service with services, products and license agreements with CBTS Technologies Solution. Question.
This is what Matt discussed last week with the ISP trunking, so moved.
Second.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
And let the record show we've been joined by Gail, WMFD. Okay. Jobs and Family Service would like us to authorize the hiring of 7 employees. For
Well, we might need to clarify for the record, one employee has a different start. How do you want to do this, Andrew and Kelly? There's a couple employees with a smaller probationary period and there's several with there's one with a different start date than the other 6. So I would say to make this motion based off of submission from FS director that lists the names, positions, starting rates, and probationary period as submitted. If the media would like it, we can send that to them. These are just filling vacancies. Again, 2 employees have 4-month probationary period, 5 have 9-month probationary period, and 1 employee, that would be Lynette Bachman, who is starting on 9/19 as opposed to 9/12. So I'll make that motion.
I don't see probationary bands in here.
Probation length, 9 months, 9 months.
on the chart.
Oh, it's on the back. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't see the back. Okay. Second.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Yes.
Wastewater certify the monthly delinquent service.
So,
Second.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Dog warden wants to authorize advertising for a part-time kennel attendant.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
And we have transfers and appropriations. Can we motion to approve
I
that?
actually have a question on the domestic relations court, so this would be for Stacy or Heather. Beth, your Judge Owens, Kathy are requesting to transfer the following sum from org 225000. The only question I have is I show that org showing there's a negative balance in there, Stacy.
Well, they're taking it from payroll right into their termination payout. It's termination payout would be negative,
Right, but I'm showing,
trying to fix. What else? What are you showing?
I guess I'm not following what she's asked. I'm showing if you look at that org with the revenue line item, I'm showing they don't have any money in there and she's transferring within that fund, right? I guess, no,
It's your
okay,
General fund.
okay,
Taking from salary to.
okay, okay. Motion to approve. I want to make sure I understood that right.
Second.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Vero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Is there anything else to come before the board? Okay, we will recess. It's recess till 10:30 and the commissioners' quarterly department head meeting will be at that time. 10:30. We are back in session, and ladies and gentlemen, this is our assistant clerk. I don't believe some of you probably have not met her, Heather Toman. And I don't turn, you introduce yourself and let her know who you are.
Heather knows me. We've talked a bit, but I'm Kelly Christensen, Director of Human Resources.
Missy Houghton, dog warden.
Michelle Swain Dayspring.
Good morning, Steve Risser, Building Department.
Rebecca Owens, Russell County EMA. That's for.
Josh Hicks, maintenance.
And this is our quarterly meeting with our department heads. And we'd certainly like to hear what you've been doing and what you're up to. We do have a few missing that sent in reports, so we'll worry about that later. But since you're in the front row, go right ahead and start, Kelly.
Sure. Well, I'm happy to report that the personnel policy manual is complete. At least Andrew's and my part, we have presented it to the board. Heather, bless her heart, is making it pretty and taking care of some formatting issues for us. So once that has been completed, given back to the board and hopefully formally approved at that point, at which point I will disseminate it to all of you. Just a couple things to keep in mind. I want to read it when it's received. There are some changes that will, kick in immediately that you'll want to be familiar with. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Might ask that you do it by email so that I can kind of keep a running tally of where the questions are, maybe do an FAQ if that becomes necessary or helpful. Also, once you receive it, make sure that you disseminate it to all of your employees right away and obtain some type of acknowledgement from them that they have received it, read it, understand it, to be kept in their file. That can be very important.
246 pages.
Well, it will be shorter than that. The legislative version that you received has all of the language that will then be deleted for the final draft. So it won't be that long.
I did, and I did, as you know, read every page you sent.
Yes, Commissioner Vero did. He did. If you are a department with employees covered by a collective bargaining agreement, please take note of your work rule language because you will need to distribute it in accordance with that. Some of you have a 5-day period, some of you have 10. I don't have them memorized, but just make sure that you put this out and say that it will take effect, whatever your requirement is. If anything happens from that, let me know. And then also what I would like to do, but it will be dependent on when this actually goes out to everyone, is set up another date for all of us to get together, just a little informal gathering where I would like to go over a few specific areas of policy, the ones that we deal with most often, tardy, things of that nature. And I can always answer any questions that you have then. Second thing I wanted to mention, just a reminder of the Corsa training, the mandatory training. That is coming up on October 16th. Starts at 9:30 a.m. and that is at the fairgrounds. And that is part of our loss control incentive program that we do annually that helps us to obtain a discount on our insurance premium. That's all I have.
Okay. So a while ago, Vinny and I had come here to talk about how we were pursuing a grant through BWC for sound baffles for the dog shelter. We received that, so we're in the works to get the baffles installed through that grant. We also had a company in Columbus that reached out to us and they had a bunch of sound baffles that they had miscut for a job. So they donated probably like $7,000 worth of baffles to us, enough that we may be able to do 1 to 2 more rooms. So we're super excited about that. We have a 5K fundraiser coming up on the 15th of this month at North Lake Park. It's our 2nd annual one. And then we have our 1st annual Perf Bingo October 12th, and that is going to be at the Madison, I think, Bingo Hall. I don't know if you guys remember, but Ricky Correctional Institution, they just got a new warden and she reached out to me about possibly starting a prison dog program through Ricky where we can send our dogs out through there. So she just said that she needs to get settled in a little bit and then we'll try and get that in the works. So that would be really helpful for some of our dogs to be able to get out and get over there. But that is pretty much what I have. We have 97 dogs, so we're down from our triple digits. So, but other than that, that's all I have.
Yeah.
The big talk around Dayspring is our brand new boilers. They are now in place. And the deadline was the September 16th to start process, and they just about have everything finished. It's very impressive considering we had a later start. And everybody's excited, which is very odd because nobody sees them. They're in our basement in a huge room, and the 3 boilers that have taken the place of the 2 are not even the size of one. The 3 that make up the new system. I have some really cool pictures that went in our newsletter that maybe the commissioners saw. One is of the new boilers and one is them putting piping through one of the chimney stacks so they can vent it properly. It was rather impressive when you work in this big massive thing is coming down the chimney stacks. Residents ask every day, are we gonna have heat? I keep telling them, yes, we will, but that does not mean you can have your room set at 100 degrees. So I'm sure there'll be some disappointed people come November when they cannot be at 100 degrees in their bedroom. But I will be happy because I do not have to worry about the boilers pooping out sometime in the winter. The other big exciting thing we got going on is we have been working on remodeling and making pretty our gym area. I reached out to the Gimbel Foundation asking them for a donation so that we could purchase the equipment. And they exceeded what I asked and said it's $10,000. So our residents will have a new bike and treadmill and a few other things. We can do a nice TV in there. They're very excited. Well, some of them are excited to be able to exercise. So we're excited to get that going for them, especially as we get closer to winter. The other large thing that's going to be happening is even though we're only in September, we're planning our 3rd annual trunk or treat. We are trying to decide on a date, otherwise I tell you what it is. But I can tell you, last year we had so many kids, we had to hurry up and go buy more candy. We had quite a turnout and it looked really cute. The residents really enjoyed kids and being able to give candy, and it was a really nice event. So we're hoping for another good one this year. And that's it for Dayspring.
Steve.
Good morning. I think I'm the new guy on the block, or the renewed guy on the block after a little hiatus, but I started back with the building department at the end of January. We had a significant code update for the state commercial building code that we enforce that was effective in March. So we had quite a bit of activity with that. Code update training, updating some forms, updating some documents to get current. We've worked internally on some of our documents that we send to our customers, trying to make it a little more friendly, a little more easier to read, and try and hit more to the point of what we're trying to communicate, not over communicate, but also give people enough detail that they can that they can work and we can all work together. Looking at some of our data and some of our activity just in Richland County for the last couple of years, residential projects are pretty much on par. We haven't had a significant increase or decrease in residential activities. One of the big things that we look at is number of new home construction. 21 and 22, we did 87. 23, we did 80. And this year so far through the end of July, we're on track to do 71. So we're probably about that same level, maybe a little bit ahead. We don't see a lot of multifamily construction in the county. Again, this is the unincorporated areas, cities and villages, with the exception of Belleville and the city of Mansfield. But the residential activities, again, pretty much on par for what we've had the last couple of years. Commercial, we look at a couple of different numbers for that. New structures, completely new builds, not additions, anything like that, but new structures. 23 in 2021, 36 in 22, down to 17 last year, and we're at 17 new structures right now this year. And that's through the end of July. We also look at square footage overall of work. That kind of gives you an idea of how much activity you have. Some of these figures directly correlate, some of them don't. It's just, some unique trends, unique patterns, but we're in the 1.1 million square feet in 21 and 22, 1.6 in 23, and we're up to 2.1 so far in 24. So we've got an increase in overall square footage and activity. And the fees are a little bit ahead of revenues, a little bit ahead of where we were at this year versus last year. So it's, for me, again, still being, kind of the new guy on the block, only 8 months into the gig, I'm trying to look at patterns again and understand where our activity's at, where it's going, where we need to, kind of where we need to head. So other than that, just a couple other department projects we're working on. We just completed an ISO survey. ISO is the Insurance Services Office. They help write insurance rates for property. We've gone through these. We go through them about every 5 years. I think this is the 4th one that I've done. We've never had a direct correlation with, and their scoring is inverse, so a lower score is a better score. Never had a direct correlation of your score drops to you're going to pay less in insurance rates. The insurance companies, ISO, nobody's ever been able to provide a direct correlation, but we do it anyways with the intent that we will, have a better operating department, financially, fiscally, or responsible. Trying to cover the things that we need to cover, the things that we need to inspect, which should ultimately give property owners a lower insurance rate. So we're hoping that ISO number that we had last time remains the same or drops. It's a good audit procedure for us as well to kind of do some internal looks and see where we're at. So only last big thing we've got on the radar, hoping later this year we can get some software in the department to kind of to work a little bit smarter and not so much hard. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rebecca.
Yes, hi, good morning, thank you. So for EMA, we have been very busy with just outreach and building community awareness. That was one of my goals when I was hired, which is 2 years ago. I really want people to understand who we are, what we do, recognize us. If something happens, then we really need to respond in any type of emergency situation. So part of that is September is National Preparedness Month. We're hosting several events. We've got a community preparedness fair at the Ontario Center, formerly the mall, on Saturday the 14th from 1 to 5. We've got about 30 different agencies bringing in big equipment, any type of response vehicles that might be involved should there be an incident, or even in, helping us prepare for any type of incident and responding to those types of situations. So we're excited about that, partnering with Avita on that. The MedFlight will be there as well, bringing their topper. So we're excited to have them there. We just spoke with the Area Agency on Aging this morning. Last year's focus for National Preparedness Month was seniors, and we're going to spend some time with them again this year. We have a full-scale exercise scheduled for September 17th on the grounds of Mancy and Ricky. They're becoming more engaged in our preparedness efforts, so we're using some of their space to have this exercise. It is a hazmat exercise. And then October 1st, we've got a community preparedness workshop, kind of geared towards the faith-based groups, but also open to anyone. At one time, there were 200 churches in Richland County. Now I realize that has shrunk some in recent years, but it is still a great opportunity, and a great way for us to get information out in the community is via the churches. So we're hoping to get a good turnout for that workshop. Update on the tornado siren upgrade project. That equipment has been ordered. Vasu is working to gather cellular and marked tower data, which will be needed to configure each siren. They're testing activation code tones and configuring the siren status website. Once this, all these tornadoes have been upgraded to the new equipment, we will be able to monitor those from our cell phones and know whether they went off or they didn't go off. So that's going to be a huge help to us in monitoring the system. They will be programming the dispatch consoles for tones to use during testing. And just a reminder that those are tested the fourth Wednesday of every month. Out to various sirens throughout the county every month. They just kind of stand by and make sure that they work or they didn't work. So we've got Vassy working on some of those. You're probably aware the county did transition to Everbridge, the new warning system for RC alerts. We need everyone to go on to the county website, sign up and create a new account under that system. Originally, we were informed that everything would be transitioned and everything would just be nice and smooth and wonderful, but that's not the case. So I do need you to go on and sign up for any type of alerts that you would like to receive from us. Incarceration, we partnered with them. Again, we are responsible and help them monitor the weather during that weekend. One additional thing that we've worked out or that we're working on with them is having an alternate location should they need to evacuate the prison OSR for any reason. And we partnered with OSU Mansfield and we would have individuals transferred out there should something happen at OSR and we need to have a different place for reunification, evacuate the grounds. And then lastly, working with the fairgrounds, there's some upgrades that definitely needs to happen out there. I'm not sure. Their safety plan, we're looking at revising that and making sure that they have a proper alert system on the grounds because they are having more and more activities out there on the fairgrounds. And I see that continuing to increase as well. So we really want to make sure they're prepared for any type of large scale events out there and weather situations. And Ohio has had 63 tornadoes since the beginning of the year.
Okay, do you feel we've comfortably notified the public to make sure if they receive previous notifications that they need to sign up and create a new account for the new ones?
We are continuing to do that via our Facebook and other means just to really push the word out. I've had a couple of people that have signed up and they've had some questions and we've had some bugs, but we've been able to resolve those. So I'm not sure whether it's, you know, where that's coming into play at, but it's really a very simple process. And again, the link is on the RC, the Richland County website, just to click that link and register.
You also have employee changes.
Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you. So seems like that's been forever ago.
Yeah.
So Sarah Potes left the EMA office and is now working in the grants department at Ohio EMA in Columbus. So we have a new hire. Her name is Destiny Heinberger. And she's been on board since the beginning of August and is working out very well. So I'm excited about that. She's a quick learner and we're just digging right in and she really didn't have time to, you know, to jump right in with both feet. So, and she's catching on to Munis, which is wonderful because that's one of my weak spots. So thank you for reminding me, but yeah, all good.
Rebecca, I was at the Fair Board in August and they are aware and are working on that. Shannon.
Okay, child support, not a whole lot new. We did have a couple visits from the state. We had the FTI group come in, which is our federal tax information where we have to keep it secure. So we passed our audit on that. They also came into the building to check and make sure that we had everything secured. So that happened in July and passed all of that with flying colors. We had the state's program consultant come in and go over our programs and our policies that we have. She was in just a couple of weeks ago. She brought a couple other people from the state with her. We had nothing but compliments for how we have our policies set up. And, we're doing really great compared to some of the other counties. We're still above the state's average in all of our stats. So they were really pleased with that. And then we had August was our Child Support Awareness Month. We've had some changes with some of the laws where caretakers now, we can redirect child support directly to them and not wait until they get legal custody in that. So for August Awareness Month, we had a training and a luncheon to kind of honor some of the workers at the agency who have kind of went above and beyond to do a little extra and kind of get things done. And as you know, the state is still working on our new system that they said we were gonna get at the first of the year. They're still working on it. So hopefully we will get that because our system is like 25 years old that we use. So it needs to be updated and stuff, but we're working on it. So we hopefully can get that done before the end of the year. But other than that, child support's plugging along. We're doing our job.
Gosh,
So. The, start off with, we have 2 working elevators. They're not complete, but we were able to. And commits until the work is completed. Feedback on that. Court to courts is moving right along. We're still waiting on an air handler. Slated in October. Other projects going on. We're in early stages for. While we're in the design stages for renovations to the rest of the courthouse. Now, regular summer work. Preparing for winter.
all right. Well, we have from Lori Bedson, who some kind of training in Columbus, real briefly. Back to school clothing vouchers and book bag projects. Total distribution, $153,510. And she changed how they went about getting the notices out and having people attend. Pilot process resulted in a show rate of 99%. Passed with how it was done. Only 72% of the people showed up. So she will continue to do that. There's been several statewide changes to the SNAP employment and training program. And they're complying with that. And actually, some of it we were doing before the state recommended it, so it's not much of a change. Department of Children and Youth. Again, they've changed the amount of over the poverty rate that people can receive money, and that's changed, and they're complying with that, of course. And early childhood applications have been notified, and the process has changed a little bit, so she's changing a lot. And technology. They've made some upgrades, and the IT department, their IT department, are exploring other ways that they can do things a lot without some cumbersome with the computers and do it easier for applications. Also in training is Michelle Miller, Richland County Youth and Family Council. Prenatal to 5, they have a new committee working on that. Prenatal to 5 years old, of course. And Michelle started something she calls Rise event. And once a month, they have a luncheon where all the people that are involved in the youth council, they'll meet at one of their agencies, get a tour of the place. This month, they're going to 211 at the library, and they have lunch and they tour and learn about the different agencies. I've attended many of them. They've been interesting, and I think that was a good move. And currently they're serving 24 youth ages birth to 21, helping them with, that's not counting the youth served under the funding or pooled grant funding or pooled funding. So there's more than the 24, obviously, but there's the ones they're working with closely. And they've serviced over 100 kinship youth, kinship being people rather than go to foster homes, go to live with someone that they're related to, which is a great way of doing it. And she started a youth council, youth advisory council, and it's just been formed. Their first meeting will, I think, take place September 12th. This is made up of teenagers, younger in some cases, to find out what they think their needs are and to give some advice to the adults on how they could communicate better and so forth. So those are the two, and I think you have a report from.
I do. Amanda Miller from the wastewater treatment plant, the director out there, is a little bit under the weather, but she gave a brief report, and I'll put that into the record for our today. She said the last quarter has been one of our busiest, a lot of maintenance issues. Been working, and they've gotten the job done. I know they've had some blockages and some late night weekend work that they've had to do. The team's looking to hire a maintenance chief. The previous one had resigned, and they are taking applications through September 18th. The District 5 Belleville Sanitary Upgrade Project is out to bid. We had a number of contractors come to the pre-bid meeting last week. She's excited to be replacing the existing lift station and adding a new lift station over on Coach Heiser Road. She thanks the design team and the Board of Commissioners for making this long-needed upgrade possible. And the last item is the Eastview Wastewater Treatment Plant received its permit renewal. That's from the EPA. It's renewed for 5 years. They've submitted the renewal application for the Dayspring Wastewater Treatment Plant. Hopefully that will be a 5-year renewal as well. And that's it from Amanda.
Carl, do you have any questions?
I got a couple. Wanted to talk about the county alert system. I think the last story I did about this was back in April, when the contract was changed from, is it Inspiron to Everbridge? And the last story I had was Matt Hill saying residents don't need to re-sign up for notifications when the new provider takes over. So how many folks, I guess, were signed up? How many are signed up now? And what happened that made it people do have to re-sign up? Because the last thing I reported was they wouldn't need to.
We'll allow Rebecca to rebut that or talk about it.
So, Carl, to answer that question, you are correct. That is what we were told originally. That was also what we were told back, I think, in the fall or whenever it was that we were trying to decide on a vendor for this service, that we would not have, that everything would be downloaded into the new system, and, you know, there would be no need for everyone to re-register. However, that is obviously not the case. I do not believe that everyone that was in the system has re-registered, because I am going through almost daily and kind of looking at things. So there are still a lot of individuals that need to do so if they choose. As I said, it's a very simple process. They simply go on to the county website, and it says RC alerts, and there's a link right under. You click on that and go in, enter your information. Again, they can receive alerts via text, cell phone or phone call, or email. And there's also a way to select what you want to receive notifications for. So, you know, it's a pretty smooth process. Is it what we thought it would be? No, not in that regards, but it is working, and we are continuing to promote the effort that, and if people need help, they can reach out to us. We have had a couple of individuals that, for whatever reason, have set up accounts and not been able to get back into them. So we've adjusted that and got those all corrected, but we are available to provide TA if needed for somebody that, or if they're not comfortable signing up themselves, we can help them do that.
So I went and looked at it earlier today. If I have an account under the old one, do I have to create a new account, or can I log into my old account and pick new things?
No, you still need to log in and create a new account.
And Carl, you have to change your password from Richland Source 12345. It's not strong enough.
You don't want to know what my password is. It probably involves the words Tony Vero something, but we'll leave that alone. Rebecca, do you know how many folks were signed up previously, and what's the current number of folks who have signed up?
I don't have that number off the top of my head, Carl. Let's put it this way, there are a lot more residents that need to sign up, that we really would hope that they would encourage them to sign up. Again, our alert system should not be the primary means for people to receive notifications. There are many alert systems that you can sign up for, one of which is through FEMA. And different things, but sometimes you need more than one way, and the good old fashioned weather radio is also an option. But yeah, we have approximately 124,000 people in Richland County. There are probably at least 110,000 of those, if not more, that need to sign up if they're care to use the system. So.
And commissioners, you guys paid $21,876 with Everbridge. Did they give you any kind of a rebate since they didn't do what they said they were going to do, or what happened? Or does that come out of Matt Hill's salary?
Matt Hill's salary.
Right.
Did you want
Well-
more?
Well, I'm just looking for, did they actually provide any kind of a rebate, or was this just a misunderstanding that they didn't know that that's what you guys thought they were going to do?
It's under further investigation.
All right, that's all I had, guys.
Anybody else have anything else? We appreciate you coming up and letting us know what you've been doing and what you will be doing. And let's investigate that get Matt Hill under the spotlight and torture chamber and all that. Okay. Okay, it is 11:02 and we will stand in recess, and we will come back at 11:15, go into executive sessions for the sheriff's union negotiations. And Carl, I do not believe there will be anything coming out of that meeting.
Okay, thank you.
6:15 and we are back in session. And we are, I'd like to entertain a motion to go into executive session for union negotiations.
So moved.
Second,
Yes.
Rivera,
yes.
Ramirez.
Yes.
That's okay. No, it's fine.
No, we weren't waiting on you. 5:05 and the Board of Commissioners will adjourn. And
Nothing to report.
nothing to report. See you Tuesday.